My name is Ron Glick. I am a U.S. political prisoner presently being detained in Kalispell, Montana. Most people see political prisoners as people who are detained in a prison or in a cell, but it also refers to anybody who is restrained of their liberty, of their freedom to travel, to move about. I have been detained since 2004 for suing the city of Kalispell and the local authorities who have brought their considerable power down upon me to penalize me for bringing that suit. They have successfully stopped this suit and have presently detained me now for 12 years. When I was originally sentenced for a false crime under the term of sexual assault that never happened, I was given 20 years with 15 of those years suspended. Instead of being released from prison on probation or parole, I was held the entire 5 years because I refused to confess to a crime I did not commit. Upon being released, instead of being released to a suspended sentence, where I would be free about to do as I please so long as I didn't commit any additional crimes, I was instead remanded over to custody of the Department of Justice of Montana to serve a 15-year probation sentence, of which I have presently served 7 years. I was just informed on Thursday that that probation is in jeopardy. 2 years ago, I published a book called U.S. Political Prisoner Since 2004. In that book, I provide indisputable and uncontestable evidence of the corruption here locally. Though I have gotten little attention to this, I did reference my so-called victim multiple times. Now understand, in 2009, after I was released from prison, I had my conditions modified to add a censorship that I could not use the name of my so-called victim in any publication I maintained. When I published U.S. Political Prisoner Since 2004, I made every effort to redact her name from official documents. I did not use her name in any record that I detained, that I created, and I did my level best to remove her name from any public records that I included in the book as evidence and support of my position. Being human, out of the thousands of redactions I successfully made, I missed one. In the police report, there is one place where her first name is mentioned. It was an oversight, it was not deliberate, but in spite of this, they are now using this as a justification to strip me of the time I have already served, and I will once again have my clock reset and have it removed, or moved back to 15 years, once again in custody of the state of Montana. Whether that custody will be in the form of continued probation or prison time is yet to be seen, which is why I'm making this video at this time. If I disappear, if I do not respond, if I do not post anything else, assume that I am in the custody of the state, I am in jail and or prison, and I am unable to provide access to any further information. I provided this book, created this book, because I couldn't not let some record be created of what they have done to me. They're going to lock me away and keep me detained for the rest of my life because no one else will raise a hand to tell them they can't. In spite of the massive amounts of civil liberty violations, constitutional violations, everyone ignores this. No one cares. Well, now I'm going to lose my life. I have predicted for years that they would never let me serve out my 15 years, that they would keep me in custody. And now that's becoming manifest, regardless of whether it takes the form of probation or prison time. The fact is, they have every intention of resetting my calendar so that I am forced to serve 15 years again. Now keep in mind, as I said, I was originally sentenced to 15 years suspended time. That is a sentence that is served in lieu of, a sentence that is not served at the time it's imposed. A probation sentence, by contrary-wise, is a sentence that is served in lieu of incarceration. It is unconstitutional and a violation of double jeopardy for any individual to serve two sentences for the same crime. But Montana uses the suspended time as a justification to detain people under a probationary period so that they can violate under probation rules, which creates a new crime, and then hand you back your entire suspended sentence. I have served 7 years of my suspended sentence under probation custody, and now that 7 years is going to be stripped from me. Make no mistake, this is not about me in any way causing harm to a victim, causing harm to anyone, or committing any deliberate infraction of the rules, however harsh, however unique to me alone. This is purely retaliation for the publication of this book. The very people who are named as criminals in this book control the courts, control the police, control every aspect of law and government, so-called law and government, in this town, in this county, in this jurisdiction. I have no justice here. I will not see freedom again in my lifetime unless someone else steps forward to defend me. I have tried. For 12 years I have been trying. I can't get anywhere by myself. I am hoping that this video will reach someone who actually cares, who will actually do something about this. I can't do it alone, and it's looking very much like some new penalty will be placed upon me. I have been forewarned that a warrant will be issued this week, within the next day or two. Whether I'm arrested, or whether I'm just simply ordered to go down to turn myself in, the point is, I will have my liberties further stripped from me. My extension of time as a political prisoner will be increased by at least an additional 7 years. The only question at this point in time is whether that extension will be in jail, in prison, or under continued restrictive probationary custody that I was never sentenced to. If I am free after this warrant, I will update this video. I will provide an additional video, I guess. I hope someone out there will see this and understand. I hope someone, someday, will stand up to these people and stop them. But this may be the last words you hear from me on the subject, because I may never be allowed to speak again. If you care about America, if you care about this country, the ideals it stands for, don't live under the illusion. Don't live under the propaganda. Don't live under the lies, the pretenses, the falsifications. This is a tyrannical government that is allowed to run unchecked and to trample over your civil liberties at will. I am living proof of it. If you want further information about this, I highly recommend you visit my blog at monspiracy.wordpress.com. That's conspiracy with an M for Montana. It stands for the Great Montana Conspiracy. So monspiracy.wordpress.com. You can also, of course, pick up my book, U.S. Political Prisoner Since 2004. 400 pages of details, facts, and indisputable evidence that what is being done to me is criminal. Even if you set aside the belief or disbelief of whether I committed a sexual assault, the laws that were violated to place me here, the civil liberty injustices, the threats to others, the death of one witness 10 days after trial, all of this adds up to a very large question of propriety. I again implore you, do something before it happens to you or someone you love. These are my last words. Good luck.